Good morning students, this is Venkat. Welcome to social class. Today I am going to start the part 2 of class 7, that is rain and rivers. So in the part 1 we learned one of the concepts, what is the importance of water and how much water the surface was covers and how much water is a salt water or else called saline water, and how much water is fresh water which can be used for drinking. So we know that without water the life is vulnerable, very bad. So means we cannot survive on the earth. So we require water, and so the reason we have to save that water for the future generations also. Everything, the importance of water I explained in the part 1 about rain and also the water. The first point we have to know that what is the source of water, these all things. So in the part 1 I explained what is evaporation, condensation, formation of clouds, precipitation, and till that day I explained, you know that what is meant by evaporation. Evaporation in the sense converting water into vapor is called as evaporation. Condensation, the vapor converting into the water droplets are called as condensation. And these are the small droplets was becoming to the biggest one like a cloud, is the third one. So next one is falling rain in the form of water or snow, or these are the things like a snow falling or else fog. These are the things that we learned in the last lesson. And also I explained that what is meant by southwest monsoon or northeast monsoon. It's a different types of winds. Today's concept is about rivers. So what I'm going to be explain, the second concept, part 2, that is rivers. Can you give some examples of rivers? Yeah, everyone saying that Krishna, Godavari, Ganga, Brahmaputra, these are examples for the rivers. So now our topic is coming with our topic, what is rivers. First I'm going to be start that rivers are going to divide into two. One is called perennial rivers and also called as non-perennial rivers. What is meant by a perennial and what is meant by a non-perennial? Perennial in the sense of continuous flowing of river is called as perennial rivers. What is perennial? Continuous flowing of river is called as perennial. Non-perennial means this one cannot flow continuously. The river cannot flow continuously throughout the year is called as non-perennial rivers. Example for perennial: Ganga, Brahmaputra, Indus. These are the examples of perennial, that is Ganga, Brahmaputra and also the Indus. Why these rivers flows continuously? These rivers are called as Himalayan rivers. These are the rivers are called as Himalayan rivers. These rivers, the main source of these rivers was melting of Himalayan ice. Because of the melting of Himalayan ice, these rivers are flowing continuously. That's why it is called as perennial rivers. Non-perennial rivers, these rivers cannot flow continuously because these rivers are depending upon the rain. If the rain comes, these rivers flows. If there is no rain, there is no flowing of rivers. Take an example: Krishna, Godavari, Narmada, Tapti. Why these rivers cannot be continuously flow? Because we are saying that Krishna can be dry in some areas, otherwise Narmada or Godavari. But these are the other rivers cannot dry because the source of these rivers was Himalayan, these rivers was rain. And also second one more is, these rivers, one is called west flowing rivers and east flowing rivers. What is west flowing and what is called as east flowing? The river which flows from east towards the west is called as west flowing rivers. The river starts from west, flows towards the eastern side is called as east flowing river. West flowing rivers are joints in the region of Arabian Sea. These rivers are joints in the region of Bay of Bengal. So, west flowing river, east flowing rivers. So, take an example, Indus, Narmada, Tapti. These rivers joins in the region of Arabian Sea, starts from east, goes towards the west and joins in the region of Arabian Sea. And east flowing rivers starts from west and joins in the region of Bay of Bengal. Example is Krishna, Godavari, Ganga, Brahmaputra. These are the rivers that are called as east flowing rivers. Come to our concept. This is an extra information which we cannot find in your textbook. Come to that, always all the rivers start from high areas to otherwise called as high altitude, and it goes towards to the low altitude, means low lying areas. High areas in the sense of like a mountain is having a top, that's a high, and it goes towards the down, that you can say the low lying area, because any water or else any good or a thing can be starts from the high area and can be goes to the low lying area. It cannot goes from the low to high. Why it is? Take an example, India side. In India we have the southern part of India. This is called as western side, this is called as eastern side, and this is having that somewhat height, this is having that somewhat low height. So Indian rivers start from the high altitude to, it goes towards the low altitude. It means almost all the rivers starts from west and flows towards the eastern side, because this is having the somewhat high slope, means high area, and this one is having the low area. So because of that, the rivers are flowing from high area to low area. And topic was transforming streams into the rivers. How the streams are transforming into the rivers. Take an example. This is a surface where we are living there. It is called as land. So rain falls either in the form of water or as fog or anything, either in the form of snow also. This water transfer from one place to other places. So this water is having a two source. One is travel from one place to other place through the land, and other one it is percolates into the soil. What is meant by a percolates? Percolates means going into the soil. So the water it goes on the surface, otherwise the land is called as surface water. The water which goes into the soil is called as subsurface water. Surface water and subsurface water. So surface water that can travel from one place to other place, and it joins in the region of low lying areas, either in the ponds or either in the form of lakes. joins in the ponds or in the region of lakes, otherwise it joins in the region of river also. And we know that how to use this water. And some of the water percolates into the soil, that is called as subsurface water, otherwise called as groundwater. This groundwater we can use we can take by using the bore wells, otherwise called as engines. By using the engines, we can take the groundwater, and this water we can use for any other purpose also. So the topic was how the streams are converting into the. First, we have three words. One is called streams, one is called tributaries, one is called as big river. So water which goes on a land is called as runoff, and this water is traveled from one place to other place like one small way of water, and this one is also called as streams. Small streams can be goes. All the streams are joints and it can convert to the big. The big one is called as tributaries. From one place to other place, through the water travels like in the form of streams. These are the lot of streams are going along with the water. It joins and it becoming into the tributaries. So example for tributaries was Tungabhadra is one of the tributary. Dindi is also that one of the tributary. Manjira is also that one of the tributary. Pranahita, Munneru, these are some different type of tributaries we have in the region of Telangana. Even Yamuna river is also one of the tributary of Ganga. So one more time, streams are going from one place to other place along with the water. A lot of streams are bringing the massive water, and these all the streams was becoming into the tributaries, and these are the tributaries were joining into the big river. So 2 or 3 tributaries was becoming into that big river. So Dindi, Manjira, Pranahita, Munneru, Peddavagu, Chinnavagu, these are some different type of tributaries was the source of Krishna and Godavari river. Think one more time how this one is going to be happened. So group of streams was converting into the tributaries. 2 or 3 tributaries was becoming into the big river. So for example, if this is a river and this one is called as tributaries, these are the tributaries are having there some source of streams. So if it is a river and this is called as tributaries, these are called as small streams. So group of streams are joining into the tributaries, and the tributaries were joining into the river. So you can say the transforming streams, transforming, otherwise called as converting streams into tributaries, tributaries converting into the river. Clear or not? Now come to the other concept. Floodplain. What is meant by a flood? Heavy water is called a flood. We know the floods. So what is source of floods? Heavy rainfall causes for floods, and less rainfall causes for the drought. So, but we have to expect adequate rainfall. It means sufficient rainfall. If the rainfall comes very heavy, that causes for the floods. When the flood comes, this is called as floods, flood water. Flood water is always goes very fast because of the pressure. Because of the pressure. The pressure of water is very heavy or fast, and this pressure of water will take that sand, mud, rocks, debris means waste material, dead bodies, even the leaves. So one more time, the water pressure comes very fast, and this water is always transferred from high area to low areas. When it is coming with the fast of water, this water brings the sand, mud, rocks, debris, dead bodies of animals, human bodies, sometimes even the leaves also. And this pressure of water travels long distance. When the heavy rainfall, heavy pressure, when there is a low rainfall, pressure of water is low, and with the pressure, it is going to be filled up with the low-lying areas. And with the low-lying area, it is converting into the plain. So this is in a low-lying areas, was filled up with all the materials. After long years of depositing of rivers, this is in an area converting into the plain. Take an example, in the region of Andhra Pradesh, we have some plain areas, Krishna Godavari basin, and also in the region of India, we have that Ganga river basin. These all the areas was first converted in the plain because of the rivers. They brought some different type of materials, and here inside means between of these two areas we cannot find any trees, and here we can be there is a chance for planting of trees, not in the middle, and here there is no chance of growing of plants also. So that you can say that flat plain. So what is the next concept? Massive plantation. Massive in the sense of lot of trees are going to be planted. What is the need of planting of trees? Main intention of planting of trees was to stop the water flow, to stop the flow of water, because the water is going very fast. When the water is going fast, the soil, the top soil is very important for growing of plants. Because of flood, the top soil is going to be washed, that is called as soil erosion. So for controlling the soil erosion, for controlling the floods, we required the plantations. The plantation is come through the seedlings. So the reason government of Telangana, they're making that lot of programs. We know that Harita Haram and some other different type of programs. With these programs, they want to make that lot of seedlings on the fallow lands. Fallow lands means the land which is not using for agriculture is called as fallow lands. So government of Telangana decided that they can make lot of plants on the fallow lands for the purpose of to control the soil erosion, and also that for the purpose of to control the floods also, and to increase the groundwater and to stop the pressure of water. These all the things are possible by planting that only. Come to that massive plantation. So they gave that government of Telangana given chance for 40,000 seedlings in a village. $40 lakhs in the region of constituency. So government of Telangana given chance to increase the plantations in each and every village. They given for the people of the village, every village they have to make that 40,000 seedlings in a village, 40 lakhs of seedlings in the constituency. So we know that we have some different type of constituencies like Hyderabad constituency, Secunderabad constituency, Malkazgiri constituency, Serlingampalli constituency, like that. So in every constituency 40 lakhs seedlings and a village the 40,000 seedlings to be compulsory. The village head that is going to be appointed one committee. For that committee the Sarpanch is going to be acting as a chairman, and that person should take care of this all the seedlings which they are going to be planted, and the case is also taken by the village Sarpanch also only. So with this they want to make that lot of plants in the region of village and also in the region of constituency. Main intention of this program was converting that fallow lands into the greenery, to increase the greenery, because greenery is a main source of rainfall also. Next one is, we have to know next concept, that is cyclones. So India is a biggest coastline, that is more than 9 states of India is occupying the coastline from Gujarat to West Bengal, and these all the 9 states comes under the coastal regions, and these are the areas are struggling with the cyclone problem. Take an example, recently we have cyclone in the region of West Bengal and Odisha. So because of that, lot of people, animals, they lost the houses. Lot of things are going to be happening. So what is cyclone is happened in the region of India, that is in 1977, almost 10,000 people they lost their life. Take an example, recently we have the recent sense of in the year of 2020, we have the West Bengal and also the Odisha cyclone. In the last 2 years before, we have the Tamil Nadu cyclone and also the Bombay and Kerala cyclone. These are some different type of cyclones are going to be occur. So if the cyclone is going to be occur, what are the measures we have to take? That is our concept. So before a cyclone, what are the measures we have to take? And also, if you want to be face the cyclone, and if you want to be evacuate, means to come out from the area, what are the measures we have to take? These are the things I'm going to be explaining. For example, first, what are the measures we have to take at the time of cyclones? We have to listen the radio, and we have to watch the TV. What the announcement is going to give it on cyclone, and we have to observe that what are the announcements was given in the loudspeaker arranged by the village people. So we have to follow the updates is given by a media and also the village rural employees also, and also that any employees. Come to the next one is, we have to make one emergency kit. The emergency kit is always consisting with the documents of property, valuable documents, and some money and some of the clothes also. Next one is, we have to make is our home is strengthened, means strong. Is the walls, windows, and also called as doors are strong or not. We have to check these all the things. Next one is, if you are going from one place to other place, if you observe that the announcement the cyclone is occurred, then if you are going on a bike or a car, you can stop the bike or a car, but the bike or a car cannot stop the down of a tree or a down of the electrical pole. You can stop the vehicle a safety place, then only you can be very happily you will come out from the cyclone. And also that you cannot go out when the cyclone was declared. We have to wait for announcement of the government officials. And if you are a fisherman, you cannot go into the sea if a cyclone is going to be declared. And also that you have to go to that refuge areas, a place at the time of cyclones. Government can arrange some places for the people, those who struggle because of the cyclone. So you have to be check that where is the refuge center is there. Then you have to go to the safety place. Then also you have to listen the TV and the radio for further information. Next, do not enter into the flood water because we don't know how much depth you can find in the water, because every area is filled up with the water. So you have to check and you have to come out. And not only, for example, even if all clear, means if a cyclone is going to be stopped, then also you cannot go out. You have to wait for the further announcement. When the cyclone is going to be started, it can close all the doors, windows, and it should be go to the Pakka houses. These are the points you have to follow. The next one is if you need to evacuate, if you want to go out, for example, due to the cyclone, your house is not strong. If anything is the problem comes, you have to evacuate. Once if you want to evacuate out from the your home, you have to take that your emergency kit. You know that what is meant by emergency kit. You have to go come out. Next one is you have to, for example, there are some of the things was very important in your home that you have to keep in the safety place. That should be keep on the bed, otherwise on the table. And how to take leave that animals, but we cannot take all the animals outside. And also that in your home we can find this latrine, these all the things. Then that should be covered with the sandbags. Then the water cannot be go inside of the latrine, and also that the dangerous poisonous snakes also will not be come out. So the region should not be come out also without knowing out. Next one is after the cyclone, what we have to do that. After cyclone, you have to be very careful. You cannot skip the lunch or a breakfast or a dinner, and you have to take that hard food. And also because this cyclone or a flood can create that some different type of diseases like a jaundice and typhoid, malaria and cholera, some different type of diseases. Should be very careful, and you cannot take that cool food. You can drink only the hot water, and also that hard food, and also that always wait into the flood water. Do not eat the wet food. Wet means the food which is going to be because of water is going to be coming to the wet. That we cannot take that. And also that be careful when you are coming out, because it causes very danger also, because we don't know how the outside was there. So we have to wait for the further information is given by the government in the form of newspaper, radio, or any village officials can be announced. So this is the lesson which I covered today. One more time, I will explain what I covered today. How the streams are converting into the river, and I also explained that perennial, non-perennial, west flowing, east flowing, and also that these all the things. And one more thing is next, I explained that flood plains. Next, massive tree plantations, and the last one is what are the measures we have to take when the cyclone is going to be announced. These are the points we have to follow. I forgot to state one point. In India, always the rivers come from the west to east because western side of India is having the high altitude, eastern side of India is having the low altitude. Thank you, my dear children.